Welcome back. I am Pratap here. Today is the 21st February 2024. In this video, let us generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade and a weekly income trade. And even before that, a small announcement, please. If this is your first visit to our channel, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action course. All these training videos are available at our YouTube channel. We placed in a playlist supply demand zone price action course. I have provided the link to this playlist in this YouTube video description. Click on the link, you will get into this page and then scroll down to the bottom of this page. There, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training videos are available in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen our skills related to supply demand zone price action. I have also provided the Telegram channel. I have provided the link in this YouTube video description. Please also join there. Before we release any video, we will provide an update in that channel. Now let us get into the report generation from our NeoStock software supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. First, let us generate bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. For MIT, LTF zone is a daily and the bullish trade setup entry is at demand zone. And in the parameter bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bullish. And we don't trade on pierced zones. So that is the reason why the last parameter in this page, pierced count, I am setting 0 at daily. That means our pierced count should be 0 for all our demand zones. So this is the filtered list. And all these stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is all these demand and supply zones are that is at LTF time frame, that is a daily time frame. And the list is big, so I will keep on scrolling this list by giving you few seconds time. If you want to refer any stock from this list, please pause the video. And the first 12 stocks in this list are indices, and currently they are all supporting bullish trades. So at present, 93 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup. Because the list is big, I'm going to filter these stocks based on reward. That is between demand and supply zone. Let us make sure at least there is a 3% reward. Earlier we were filtered for 5%. We are getting very few stocks. So even let us consider even 3% also. If you don't want 3%, if you want more percent, you can ignore the stocks from the filtered list. So in order to get a reward 3%, there we have a range, that is a minimum range. This is between proximal line to proximal line. P2P range between demand and supply zones, or between demand and demand zone and all-time high. In this minimum range, at daily time frame, I am setting the value 3. So minimum 3% reward should be there. Now this is the filtered list. Let me scroll down for your reference purpose. Any of your favorite stocks, you can pause the video and you can study them. Now the list is reduced to 73 members. Still it is a big list. So that is the reason why it is not possible for us to analyze all these stocks. Let us generate 3 individual reports. That is 1% near to the demand zone, 2% near to the demand zone, and 3% near to the demand zone. So let me go back, and here we have a parameter. The last parameter in this page is maximum price percent to reach the zone. At daily time frame, I am setting the value 1. It indicates within 1% to the demand zone. Whatever the stocks are there, they will be filtered. So currently within 1% to the demand zone, 5 stocks are there. If any one of these stocks we get an entry tomorrow, so you can plan for a long trade. Now let us check within 2%. But remember, some of these zones are tested, and if it is a tested zone, you don't plan the trade unless it is a high liquidity zone. So you can eliminate those stocks. See, previously I filtered based on the test count 0. The reason currently why I am not filtering is it is filtering even high liquidity zones. Instead, you can manually filter them when you are looking into this list. Look into the column test count. If the test count is 0, it is a fresh zone. If both test count and rejection count is 0, it is completely a fresh zone. Rejection count, why we are considering rejection count most of the times, I'm saying not always, but most of the times it indicates a strong order flow in that zone. It even supports second test also, or multi-test it might support. So let me go back and let us generate the second report by setting the maximum price percent to reach the zone as 2%. That means within 2% to the demand zone, how many stocks are there? Now these 9 stocks are there. But the only problem is at lower time frame, that is LTF time frame, all these stocks are currently traveling from demand zone to supply zone or all-time high. The price direction is towards the supply zone or all-time high. But it doesn't mean we won't get the trade. Sometimes they may reverse, change the direction, and we get a trade in the zone. That possibility is also there. And let me generate the third report, final report for this option. That is a bullish trade setup in MIT. The third condition is let us check within 3% level how many stocks are there. 23 stocks are there within 3% to the zone. That means if the prices fell down by 3%, we get an entry tomorrow. But are there any stocks moving towards the demand zone? See here, HR Motor is moving towards the demand zone. And NMDC is currently moving towards the demand zone. But HR Motor is already tested once. NMDC is also tested once. But it is a high liquidity zone. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup. Currently, stock supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Now, let us look into the stock supporting a bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So, it is a bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone should be supply zone. And bullish or bearish setup parameter at daily time frame, I am selecting bearish. Because we don't want pierced zones, let me set the pierced count to 0. At the daily time frame, I am setting 0, 0 because we selected supply zone. So these values will be applied to the supply zone. So only one stock is currently supporting, that is UPL. Now let us generate a bullish setup for a weekly income trade. Because it is weekly income trade, our LTF, lower time frame zone, our entry time frame should be 75 minutes. Because it is bullish trade setup, our entry zone should be demand zone. And in bullish or bearish setup parameter, this time we are selecting at 75 minutes bullish, and we don't want pierced zones. Pierced count we want to set this time for 75 minutes time frame. We are setting 0, 0. Indicates P-host count should be 0. And this is the filtered list. All these stocks are currently supporting, all these demand zones are currently supporting bullish trade setup at 75 minutes. So let me scroll down. So total 55 stocks are filtered. Because the list is very big, we have to filter the stocks, and we will check the stocks having a percentage. All these days we've been looking for 3%, minimum 3%. Now let me change it to minimum 2% reward. That means between demand and supply zones, a minimum 2% reward should be there. So for that we are using minimum range. For 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting the value 2. Now all these stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup and having a minimum reward of 2% between 75 minutes demand zone and supply zone. So total 29 stocks are filtered. Now let us check the stocks that are having at least a minimum 1% to the 75 minute zone, demand zone, so that we may get a trade tomorrow itself. So the maximum price to reach the zone, in that at 75 minutes I am setting the value. That means within 1% before the 75 minutes demand zone. Currently these 4 stocks are filtered, which is near to the demand zone. NTPC is near to the demand zone. Trent is near to the demand zone. Probably these stocks we will get even stocks near demand and supply zones also at 75 minutes time frame. And remaining 2 are near to the demand zone. Currently their price direction is towards the supply zone. If any of these stocks, if we get an entry, we can take. But look into this. This is already tested once. And this one is also already tested 2 times. Now let us look for the stocks which is near at least 2% to the demand zone. So maximum price to reach the zone at 75 minutes, I am changing 1% to 2%. Let us filter. Now 11 stocks are filtered which are near 2% to the demand zone. And Tatacom is within 2%. Currently price is moving towards demand zone. OFSS is also moving towards the demand zone. NTPC is already near the demand zone. And Apollo Tyre also moving towards the demand zone. Nifty oil and gas is moving towards the demand zone, high liquidity demand zone. Nifty auto is also moving towards the demand zone. See, if you want to buy any stocks in indices, look for ETF, exchange traded funds. We have Nifty auto Bs. ETFs will be there. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup. Now let us generate bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So entry time frame should be 75 minutes. Now entry zone should be supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I'm selecting bearish. We don't want pierced zones. So setting the pierced count for 75 minutes as 0, 0 indicates a minimum. Only 0 count zone should be filtered. Pierced count 0 means the zones are not pierced. Now these 5 stocks are filtered. I don't require any further filters in this because the list is very small. And if you have sufficient reward and if you get a trade in one of these zones, you can plan a trade. If reward is not good or RR is not good, you can omit those stocks. Don't calculate RR from this risk and reward. fine tune the zone and then calculate the RR. The biggest mistake many people will do, without fine tuning they calculate the RR. That is a wrong approach. At least if you are not aware of how to fine tune, at least type 2 what is the RR, type 3 what is the RR. That level at least you can monitor. But the best way to identify the RR is by fine tuning the zone. If you are not aware of how to fine tune the zone, please attend lesson 16 in our training program, lesson 16.1 and lesson 16.2. So this is about bullish and bearish trade setup for monthly income trade and weekly income trade. Hope this information will be useful to positional or swing traders. Let us meet again in our next video. Thank you.